Let's look at some of the altcoins that you're excited about, that you're seeing
Yeah,
some good trade setups happening there.
I've been trading XRP. So let's just
Come
talk
on.
about
Okay.
the elephant in the room that everybody wants to hear about, right? So XRP, the community should love me, but they kind of hate me because I'm a troll. But just know that if I put something online, it's never to be malicious. It's just, I just can't do the shameless shilling of projects and community because I think that's how I wouldn't say you set the space back, but it really can lock someone into a maximalist mindset where then everything else sucks except for my project. And I don't think that's the case. I think we're way too early to be saying that.
That's a good point.
But this was a chart that I gave out, and it's on my Twitter. I've reposted it from 2021 in June. I was calling for $1.35 and then 29 cents. This box has not moved at all, not even like a tenth of a penny. This was my target for XRP. This is where I've been filling up and trading. OPEC, this is your quarter one low. So as I've been talking about, the quarter one low on a lot of assets is going to be the area you want to get back above. And that was our rejection point here. So trading this one back up like 50 cents was a really easy trade for me. Now you're back at support. This was a good buy again. So again, and I was on the record, if it comes back to this region, I'm going to buy it again because support is support until it's not. It's such a macro area of support at 29 cents that the risk is fine. It's a good play. You had a nice swing fail right here, this low and these lows, and you left this one, which I don't normally like, but that's okay. But you did have a nice swing failure pattern. So even if you missed the move, you could have got in at like 33 cents. You've already come up and approached 40 cents, I believe. I mean, that's a great return. That's like 20%. No leverage needed. I don't advise leverage trading on altcoins. I don't think it's necessary at all. But if you start holding this box and accumulating here, especially getting back above 54.61 cents, I really think that the target on this can get pretty large. And the reason being is you put in a really big reversal pattern. So again, you guys know how I like harmonics. I don't know if I have it on this chart or not, but let's see. Yeah, that's it. So this was your bullish reversal pattern. And this is a really macro pattern. It's called a bat. Now, normally I don't like to see A and C so close to each other where you've topped out, made your range, and then come back to the high, right? So that was very quick. However, what was really pleasing about this pattern and makes me think it's very valid is that when you consider the time that it took to make the first half of the pattern to here, you almost have an exact 1-to-1, meaning that it's a very symmetrical pattern. So the length between X to A and C to D are almost identical. And that's oftentimes when you stretch a rubber band, you can really only stretch a rubber band so far, right? You're not going to be able to stretch it too far before it breaks. So in the terms of like a 1-to-1, what you want to see is how long did it take investors to get so overexcited that the market finally reversed, right? People started taking profits. How long did it take the market to get so bearish that we finally reached a point where there was nobody left to sell? And we have people now buying this asset, right? Same amount of time. And oftentimes those line up. That's why you have Bitcoin cycles that line up, not just because of the halving and stuff, but there's a lot of, psychology that goes into that. And it came right into macro support. So for me, this is a really good setup. And if you were just to look at this objectively from just like we were looking at the DXY, the target on this is all the way up here, this box, big box. I don't necessarily like that, but it's very close to the overall macro TPO and volume point of control for me out through ATS. I don't have that chart up for this asset, but I remember it's $1.09. So I would be looking for that level. And that's a really big level or box here to flip, right? You start flipping this box, you're back up above, a dollar. I think that you could see some higher valuations on it. You could see $1.57, over time, of course. And then I know everyone's saying, what's your price target for all-time highs? I don't really get into too much of that. I just kind of get into, I'm looking to trade this and make money and then move on to the next opportunity. So I'm not partial to any coin. As long as it's a good setup, I'll take the trade unless it's just an absolute like low cap coin that, might have like 100K market cap or something. I'm not touching that one. But, something like XRP, it's a big cap. It's been around for a long time. Do I know that they're going to win the case? No, I just know what the technical said. Technical said this was the zone to look at. And this is what you want to see. Now on a high time frame, if you guys go to the weekly on this is like a little bit of free like education on XRP's charts. Very, very simple chart. I think we need to go very similar to what Bitcoin looked like when it was at 20K to 3K. We'll go to the weekly because it's just comparing apples to apples. You have your 20K high here, right? And then you have your 3K low. So if you're just to put like a range on this, and this isn't going to be exact because normally I would pull it with higher time frame, but this is okay. This will do. So you have this range between 12-month levels, essentially. You can see you deviated it here. You came up, you back tested it, you got rejected. And then you came back and you back tested the range low, making a higher low or a partial decline before expansion. You come over to the XRP chart now, and what do you see? You've got your high. Your 12-month level is right here. This was actually a huge take profit for me. You've come back to the lows of the range. You've tagged the 12-month level just like on Bitcoin's chart, and you come back and you're trying to put in that higher low. Now, can you come all the way down to these lows? You can, but we'll see what the market gives us. For right now, this was the best setup. And if this starts to reverse here, you do have the higher low in place. So then it does become a question of, can this start reclaiming levels that, for lack of a better term, actually matter? And if they can, I mean, you've got a pretty solid setup. And one thing I would do is I would just go to the quarter one low, and I would just box off the EQ of this channel, like the 50% mark, and you just pull this over, and you would just say, man, if we can get back above 54 to 62 cents, that little window, you can see what happens when you're above the box, right? You get above the box, where do you go? Top of the range. Support, pretty good bounce here. It was actually the 618. Descending triangle down below. This would look like a deviation, just like on the Bitcoin chart. Then we're looking at this from just a local standpoint of a trade. You just go, all right, from here to here, where's my range? Great. The yearly open is such a big level. Shocker. Get back above this level, don't hold it as support. First target is 83 cents at a minimum, which from 54 cents, that's a huge gain. That's like 60%. It doesn't seem like much when you're looking at it, but it is. And then after that, you're looking to the range highs up around $1.35, which is his local highs. You have an NPOC at 157, if I recall, though. And that would be my main target. I think once you get up there, you're flirting with the idea of $2 again. So that's the really bullish case. Now, the bearish case is you start breaking down from really 33.24 cents at this point. This is kind of your horizontal line on a quarterly chart right here where you're opening. So you can see this quarterly open that's being defended right now. If you were to lose that, I think that you probably are going to see 19 and 17 cents. I call it the range low. It's global support here. And again, I'm probably buying these levels, but that implies like a further washout in the whole market. So Bitcoin's going to be tanking, everything's going to be going down at that point. If this is, because this just moves, this does what Bitcoin does. So if we're expecting more upside from Bitcoin, I'm expecting this to try to double bottom out of this region off of that quarter one low at 54 cents. So XRP does have potential. So even though I sit there and I don't do the whole maximalist thing, and sometimes I ruffle some feathers, I buy the coin and sell the coin like any other. It's got opportunity for sure for the average trader and investor.
That was really good.